Running a travel business can be overwhelming, but imagine if there was a single tool that helped you look professional, stay organized, was easy to use, and affordable. That's just what Travefy does. Travefy gives you the essential tools you need to look like a travel biz pro. Travefy is the most trusted system used by over 30,000 travel brands worldwide. So get started with a system that helps you get back to the joy of planning travel and run your travel business like a pro with Travefy.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth Lynn, your systems and delegation coach, and I love getting to help travel advisors go from overwhelmed to being in control CEOs. I have a bunch of free resources for you as you go through Prep for Wave Week. You can scan the QR code or text the number below. I want to send you a couple really awesome things that are going to help you not be overwhelmed when the wave hits.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Prep for Wave Week. If this is your first session here, where have you been the last couple of days? Just kidding. It's okay. This is a really good one actually that you started with, so you can go back on the other days. It is day 4 sales day. I am your host, Rita M. Perez. You might know me as also the host of the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur podcast, and just so excited to have you here. It is the 5th annual Prep for Wave Week, and as I mentioned, today is sales day. And this topic in particular gets me real excited because I know many of you probably got into travel thinking like, I'm just going to book trips for other people. But especially when things go a little cuckoo in the economy and people or your demographic or your psychographics might not be booking as much travel, what else can you do other than having to get a job, which many of us got into entrepreneurship because we did not want another job. So what can you do? I feel like we're just gonna nerd out on all the things. So please welcome with me Natasha from Travel Goddess International. Hi, Natasha.
Hey girl, hey, and hello to everyone that is viewing today, and happy prep week.
I know, I can't even believe it. I know we're recording ahead of time, but I'm like, yeah, it's time to start thinking about the new year. Is there anything totally unrelated to what we're talking about, but is there anything that you do to prepare the new year with your agency?
Yes, so we do a kind of a similar week-long prep for our agency.
Okay.
First week of December, and each day during that week, we have a different focus of what we're going to look toward exceeding expectations on in the new year. So we've been doing that now for the last 4 years.
Okay.
And it's just our way to align our strategies, align our focuses, and align each other individually and as a team. So it's been great so far, and I'm looking forward to this year.
I'm like, you guys have your own little prep for a wave week
We
over there too
do.
with the company wide. Love
Yes,
it.
we do.
Alrighty. So for people who may not have known about you, heard about you before, I know that I heard about you through the Tin Lounge podcast. But give us the 411. How did you get into the travel industry and what are you doing?
Yes. Well, first I have to shout out my girls, Teresa and Kareen, for,
Yay.
bringing me on. And I love that podcast. And if you are not listening, go listen. Shameless plug for my girls. But for me, I am a full-time entrepreneur, travel advisor, and a mentor to travel agents as well. I started out in the business about 10 years ago. Yes, this year is my 10-year anniversary. And like many of you watching, I really started out with wanting to supplement my income and find other ways to grow as an individual. Quickly gained traction as a travel advisor because I really leaned into social media at that time, which is in 2015. Travel and social media was still kind of new. So I was able to kind of niche out, if you will. And then in 2020, I was like, how do I make this into something bigger? And I sat down with myself, like many people who had the time in 2020. And I decided to rebrand. And now we have Travel Goddess International from that. So, in addition to being a travel agency owner, I am also the travel expert for our local Good Day Philadelphia Fox 29 news channel. So I have a monthly travel segment on there. I also am a travel contributor for our local radio station, WURD Radio, where I also have a monthly travel segment on that radio station as well. And then, of course, I get to mentor advisors as well. So I'm all things travel, training, development. That's my background. You know, my bachelor's is in psychology, my master's is in tourism and hospitality management. I am travel. So
Love. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that we had that. So my bachelor's is in hospitality management. So I'm like the crossover there.
yeah, it makes a difference. Like it really does. And people are like,
Yeah.
well, your bachelor's is in psychology, but I'm like, but I'm using it every day with
Oh
people.
yeah. For sure. Especially I mean it's just people and learning to see like why people do certain things too. Now, I
Absolutely.
know, and I feel like this is relevant too, because there's some people that are currently at hosts or pseudo hosts,
Yeah.
trying to be nice here, that they are also like wanting to do this transition. Because I know that that's part of your background. You got involved with a company, was like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And you're like, I'm switching. So can you just tell us real quick a little bit about that and that process of doing the switch?
Absolutely. So in 2015, when I decided that I wanted to be an at-home travel advisor at that time, I was recruited by someone under the PlanNet and teletravel umbrella.
Hmm.
And I was about maybe 4 weeks into it when I realized it wasn't quite the model in which I was looking for. So I kind of put the PlanNet stuff on the back burner because I wanted to focus on the travel advisor duties of the experience.
Hmm.
And I went along with IntelliTravel for those first 5 years,
Hmm.
from 2015 to 2020, just building and growing my own thing, and really just like on my own back, if you will.
Yeah.
And then in 2020, doing my research and understanding that I wanted to not only grow as an individual, but grow my agency and be able to be the source and be the house for other independent contractors and so forth, was when I switched over to NextGen and have been with them for the last 5 years. And that experience is truly wonderful because of not only the value that I get as an agency owner, but the ease of the experience and the support and the resources that are available. So yeah. So I did start with IntelliTravel, but now I'm with NextGen and couldn't be happier.
Yeah. How did you find like was it pretty simple to transition? That's one of the questions that I get so often. Is it pretty simple to transition? Was there like any fear while you were doing that, or it was everybody made it easy on all sides?
Yeah, again, I like to quantify the win because I know
Uh-huh.
a lot of things have changed since that time. But in 2020, when I switched over, it was a very seamless process. The
Oh,
member
good.
services
Okay.
team at NextGen were very hands-on with me, understanding that I was bringing over bookings from a different agency, that I was, doing all of these things to migrate my systems and my processes and my clients.
Okay.
So it was very seamless at that time. Now, I will say since then, obviously I haven't had to do that in the last
Right.
5 years, but I do know that we've gained so many more advisors into our industry during that time. So I may think that there are a little bit more nuances that have been implemented to um, not only make it easier for the onboarding of NextGen, but
Right.
also to kind of weed out any, I don't want to say bad apples, but anyone with interests that might not align with our industry.
Correct.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Now let's get into the sales. And I'm like, we're getting into the juice here. So I really just want to be like, so how do you make money, Natasha? But what are those different buckets before we like dive in depth?
Yeah.
What are the different buckets? Because I know you have the agency and you at this point take on that CEO role. So a lot of the independent contractors kind of serve whoever might come in through the agency. You have this membership program, which I know we're going to talk on. And then you also have like affiliate commission. So there's a lot of different things coming. So give us your sales ecosystem, I guess.
Yeah, that's a great question and a great way to position it. I often call it our sales buckets, and
Hmm.
in the various ways that we generate revenue as an agency. So, to your point or to your first example, yes, we are a traditional travel agency, so full service, helping clients get around the world at affordable pricing. And I use the term affordable because I realize that there are various styles of travel advisors, and we understand that we cater to the millennial and we want them to have experiences that still feel affluent without breaking the bank. So that's our
Hmm.
clientele. So we have that bucket. Then we have our community membership. So we decided a while back that we're not even decided, we recognized that we had more value than
Yeah.
we were giving ourselves credit.
Yeah.
And we said, well, how can we monetize that value and still give our members, at that time our clients, but our members, the added benefit of being a part of the Travel Goddess International ecosystem? And so our membership model, or our community, was born, which essentially it allows our members who sign up, pay a monthly fee or pay an annual fee, to have access to the exclusive industry offers and rates that we are privy to. So granted, you could still utilize our services and have us book your travel without being a member. But when you're a member, you get even more bang for your buck. So hopefully that makes sense as I'm describing it. So that's one area. So that's the second area of our sales buckets, if you will. Then the third would be our affiliate marketing. And I know a lot of people talk about affiliate programs, and they talk about Amazon affiliates and all of the different ways that you can earn. But as travel advisors, I feel like we have even more ways. And
Oh yeah.
it took me a second, because I sometimes was like, well, I don't want to take money like out of my pocket by essentially referring the business elsewhere, but you have to meet your client where they are. So
Mhm. Right.
it's not a matter of, oh, I'm losing out on commission because I'm using this affiliate link or so forth. It is, are you servicing the client in a way that they feel the most appreciated, and they will return to you? So whether it
Love that.
be the link that you're sending today, but then in 2 months they're returning and now they want the 10-day itinerary because you just took care of that small need with a quick link.
Mhm.
So the affiliate marketing is great. In our itineraries, we will link, packing lists, and those packing lists will be direct links to our Amazon affiliates, so that
Mhm.
we're earning. So whether we're, recommending packing cubes or bug spray, like those things, they're all coming from an affiliate Amazon link.
Okay.
Also, if you are working with, Expedia Tap, for example, they actually allow you to create affiliate links through their, what is it? Expedia creator program. So you can double dip if you need
Mhm.
to. So there's just various ways, even down to my outfits when I'm traveling. Like I'm linking them. I have an
Love it.
LTK. Like I know that I can literally get all the value across the board. So that's
Yeah.
that. And then our fourth bucket are our travel itineraries that people may just, if they don't want to utilize our services, but they still see the value in what we do, we do
Uh-huh.
have itineraries on our website that you can just purchase and get the scoop when you land in a guest destination, and go. It's okay if that is how you decide to utilize us. Again, we're all about just showcasing the value, and then you'll be back. We know you'll be back.
Yeah. I didn't even know about the itinerary sales, and so definitely want to jump into that because I feel like you just said like a standout quote, like meeting the client where they're at right now. And right now, they may not be ready for full travel planning services, or they're most comfortable just doing travel planning by yourself. But don't leave the money on, on the table. That's like if they're going to be going to Amazon and shopping for personal items, or if they're already going to be planning some tours, sharing a link with them so that you get some sort of kickback as well.
Absolutely. Like, please sign up for all the things,
Yeah.
Viator, everything.
Yeah.
Get your guide, everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Do not leave money on the table, please.
Yes. All right. So let's jump in to your membership first a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, what do you call your membership? Can you share like what the pricing model is like and what do your members get? I mean, obviously, we don't have to share all the things, but like for people that might be thinking about this type of membership model,
Yeah.
where did the inspiration come from and what are like what's the high level of setting something like that up?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the inspiration came from before I switched over to Nexion, and I was just a single independent agent with IntelliTravel. And I
Mhm.
used to post travel deals, and they would be prepackaged options, the flight and the hotel for one set price.
Uh-huh.
And they used to go crazy. Like the people
Okay.
loved them.
Okay.
And that really was how I gained my notoriety, if you will. And so when I switched over in 2020 and just did the rebrand and everything, I still wanted to keep that core component of what I did, but I wanted it to feel exclusive.
Okay.
And so really the community started out with that idea of
Okay.
still providing these exclusive travel deals, but
Mhm.
having a paid membership to access them. Um,
Yeah.
so, so that's one area of it. And we still do them today, and people still love them because we just find amazing offers. And again, as I stated before, we meet our clients where they are, we understand who our target audience is, and we just want to bring experience to life for those that feel like it's impossible. It's not.
Mhm.
So that's where it started. That's where the inspiration for the membership started. But then we also
Okay.
realized, okay, there's all these offers that we get all the time that are more so sent to just travel advisors. Like
Right.
consumers are not necessarily getting this information.
Right.
So now you add a level of, again, exclusivity for the members and another area of value for the members, because if we're getting the Royal Caribbean promo that is exclusive to agents and exclusive to clients that book with agents, and
Mhm.
we're giving that information to our clients as an incentive to continue to book, we can also showcase it as a reason to stick around in this membership. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's really how we nurture, if you will, that model. And then of course, discounts and offers and lives, and we have monthly meetups. So it's really a full service community experience, but it started at the core of travel, of course.
Okay. Because I know we say don't post any of these things on like social media or else you're going to get that type of buyer. So when you said that you have like a member, I'm like, that is genius to keep
Yeah.
this like as an exclusive membership. How do you promote the membership on your social channels?
Still using those travel deals as our lead
Okay.
magnet, because the people see those and they realize, oh, I have to be a member in order to be able to purchase a trip to Las Vegas for
Okay.
$125. Like, a shameless plug for myself, guys, go to my Instagram. Okay. It's not only a good time, but it's also a educational time for
Yes.
a travel advisor. Like, and
Yeah.
I just started kind of toot my own horn a little bit, but I'm going to toot it right now because
Yeah.
I want you guys all to win as you're listening to this. So, um, go to Travel Goddess INTL and you're welcome. But nevertheless, we still use the travel deals as really our lead magnet. So it's like, hey, here's a low hanging fruit. And
Uh-huh.
then once you get in there, you're like, oh, there's all this other stuff. It's and one of the biggest things that I enjoy about the community is the real-time access to our advisors. So
Okay.
you might think, oh, but I'm an advisor, I'm always supposed to be on call anyways for my clients. While that's true, what if you have folks that haven't booked yet that are still considering, but they have questions or they just want to feel like who's the person behind these posts,
Uh-huh.
what's happening? So you're still able to build a sense of trust and of
Okay.
course be able to establish that relationship. And then, like I said, over time they're gonna buy or
Yeah.
or they purchased anyways to get in here.
Mhm.
So either way, it's value in a two-way street.
Okay. So is the direct item they're getting is access to all these offers. Do they get anything else as part of this, or that's like it's just like a weekly offer drop and then they
No,
get access to the team?
no, they're getting our exclusive travel deals access.
Mhm.
They're getting our offers that we post, whether it be from the incentives that we receive from partners or negotiated offers that I go out and secure, that are exclusive just to our members.
Nice.
They're getting access to our full team of advisors, and we are a team of 12.
Okay.
We're able to, Q&A and all of that. We also host monthly member meetups around the country because our members are everywhere.
Ooh.
So it is, like I said, it starts at the core of travel, but it has grown to be a full-blown community experience that
Okay.
you're able to find and collaborate with like-minded folks that are looking to travel, because let's
Yeah.
be honest, you could be in a circle of people and you can have a circle of friends, but you might be the only one interested in travel.
Yeah.
So we also capitalize on understanding that and then being able to welcome people into a space that's safe, encouraging, and inclusive.
So thank you for elaborating on that because I think that's really helpful to see what are some of the elements that you might be able to add. So if a travel advisor wanted to do something similar, like I think of, because I'm very like cruise focused,
Yeah.
if you just wanted to do cruise offers and promotions, or if
Yeah.
you wanted your community to just be all of retirees, because I love that you talk a lot about millennial women or just
Yes.
millennial groups and people who are like, well, I want to travel, but nobody in my group was going to book the trip and I don't want to go by myself. So I want to join something and being able to grow from that. I know you also said that social media is kind of your how everything it's the major funnel.
Oh,
Would
yeah.
you think this would have happened or been possible without social media?
No.
Okay.
Like just
Okay.
straight up no. And of course I'll elaborate, but back in 20, I want to say I think I got on Instagram for my business in 2016.
Uh-huh.
And at that time, like I mentioned, travel and Instagram wasn't as it is today. So
Uh-huh.
me being the girl that's showcasing her experiences, people are like, what's happening? Hold on now. And not for nothing, I am a Black and brown girl. So it
Uh-huh.
even more is like, what
Right.
is going on and who is this girl?
Right.
So that certainly allowed me to build an audience and then have people interested in not only utilizing my services, but my journeys around the globe.
Yeah.
And where else am I going to share that if not for, social media? So
Right.
I absolutely, for me, because of the earlier days of my journey, I definitely think that that was pivotal in my growth. And then obviously now there's so many other touch points to reach clients. Like I mentioned, in the CEO role now, I'm always out doing business development and establishing those relationships, going to different functions and always putting the brand first. Being a sponsor on this and having email lists and all those other ways. But
Yeah.
social media is absolutely, and still to this day, at the core.
Okay, perfect. Because I feel like this is social media tends to be elusive. I know, like, I was in social media and then I was out social media, and now I'm like, okay, I think I'm liking social media again. So, for those who are trying to grow via social media, and especially with those sales, one, I always like to say stop selling, like hardcore
Please,
selling on social media. So I
please.
wanted just to give like what are some of the trends that you're finding that's working and what's definitely not working on social media in 2025, kind of going into 26.
Yeah, stop posting the offer and not your face. Like, oh my
Ooh,
God. When I
ooh,
land on the page and it is a bunch of collateral, I'm
yes.
like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
How do you expect someone to spend thousands of their dollars with you if it's all just a bunch of
A billboard. Bing, 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 bing.
and a bunch of logos? It's like, well, who do you care for? Do you
Right.
have a preference? So establishing who you are
Uh-huh.
is the biggest thing. I tell my team all the time. People buy from people.
Hmm.
People do not buy from offers. They will buy the offer that is presented from the person because they know the person, not
Yeah.
because the offer is available. So present yourself. That's number one. Number two is what I'm seeing is trending is like people want free game. Okay. They want free game. So I know everyone's cringing at getting in front of the camera, and I think that that is perfectly fine. Don't let anyone tell you that you have to, but you do need to provide value. So if you're
Yeah.
not going to sit on the camera and say, here's my top five today, I need you to put it on the screen and let it at least be visible to the viewer, because
Hmm.
that's going to establish your authority on the matter. It's going to provide the value that they're seeking because let's be honest, they can search the internet and get it anywhere if you're not going to give it. So you might as well be the one that gives it.
Yep.
Then it's also going to give you something on your page that's not just an offer. So I beg you to please provide the value and the sales will come from the value. If you
Yeah.
just trying to sell, You might get one or two, but the reality of it is you're going to get way more when people know who they're buying from.
Hmm. What's a recent trip to kind of make this a little bit tactical? What's a tr recent trip that you've been on? And what are some of the content, maybe like two or three of the content pieces that you made to kind of position yourself as an expert in that realm for that type of trip?
Oh, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I just got back from the Amalfi Coast.
Okay.
From that trip, within the 2 weeks of returning, I posted, I think it was 12 pieces of content. And I still have more.
Yeah.
None of them were the same. Like everything was, as the kids would say, everything hit. Okay.
I love it.
But examples of that were um, I did a post that shared other towns to visit on the Amalfi Coast outside of
Mm,
Positano
love it.
because people just they think Positano, and it's like no. So people that posted really well because people were like, well, where's this? And what's
Uh-huh.
that? Another one was just sharing my day trip to Capri.
Okay.
And just a quick, like not quick, but it was a 50-second like recap with a voiceover.
Hmm.
Again, I know sometimes you might not feel like you want to, but the connection is really that's where the value lies. So that
Right.
was another piece that did really well. And then another one was a carousel post where I used some great photos that I had from the experience. And I
Mm.
did a carousel that was the 5 things that I do differently in travel after the age of 35.
Ooh,
Exactly. So it really was me wanting to show these great pictures. However,
right.
how
I
do I
love
still
that.
have the value? And that post did the best. Like that was nuts.
I
So
love that because
yeah, so
that's
it
giving
was,
me ideas for other, like I know there's an advisor who does like travel for teachers, and I'm like, how you travel differently now that you're a teacher or
yeah,
something to that effect.
yeah. And so, it was a swipe post, but it both is showcasing my trip photos because we
Hmm.
all want to post the pictures, but like if you're gonna post the collage on Facebook, like it's at least make it have some value.
Yeah.
And then it's relatable because like a lot, like I said, I would cater to a millennial audience. I'm a millennial myself. People over 35 understand travel is different at that age. We have different expectations than we used to let fly in our 20s. So it's
Hmm.
relatable. And then it's also aesthetically pleasing. So like
Right.
hitting on all the cylinders in that. And I'm also catering to the algorithm by doing that because if you don't know, Instagram and TikTok have really been pushing the carousel posts.
Yes.
So, girl, my Amalfi Coast content, it was doing something, and I'm very proud of it. But I also
Love
was
it.
like very, strategic about the
Yeah.
value, in addition to showcasing beautiful photos.
Yeah, no, these are really great tips because I do want to get onto the affiliate,
Yeah.
but I also know I wanted to sprinkle in like some of the tools that you might be using for things. So like for your membership, what is kind of like the back end technology for that? Like how do you take subscriptions? Is this like one platform or are you just using like a Stripe account to get
Yeah.
all the revenue from this?
Yeah. So, we host our community on a platform called Mighty.
Okay.
You guys are familiar with it. It's,
Yeah.
it's an easy tool to be able to have a membership model, or even if you wanted to do webinars, if you wanted to have a course, like they have just all different ways for you to be able to connect with folks, and
Yeah.
more importantly, to collect revenue,
Yes.
because they easily integrate with Stripe. And so our agency, has our Stripe account is how we collect our payments. So it's a win-win for us because they have that integration. But yeah, Mighty is
Yeah.
the name of the platform.
Perfect. And when we're thinking about social media, I'm going to assume that you're using that ManyChat a lot.
So
Is ManyChat your BFF?
yes. And honestly, some days we duke it out because I'm like, "Ugh, this is a lot of manual labor, but
Uh-huh.
it is worth it in the end. It is worth it in the end when you wake up and you see that your set it and forget it, if you
Uh-huh.
will, were working for you during the night and you were able to still make sales or follow up with leads and do all of those things while you were asleep.
Right.
You understand, you know what? Let me go ahead and hang out with ManyChat again today.
Yeah. I love it. And there's the free version, but then there's also the paid version, but it's only like $15 a month, I
Yeah,
think,
it's
which is stinking
like
affordable.
absolutely like you have to consider your earnings. You have to itemize where the value is with your business expenses
Hmm.
versus the things that are going to help you earn more. Because if you're
Right.
currently looking at it like, oh, another expense or 15 more dollars a month because I'm not really making, then you
Hmm.
have to flip that thought process on how can I make more to not even think twice
Oh,
about that $15 a month.
love that.
And that
I-
is investing the $15 because
Yeah.
then it's going to bring you the money in your sleep.
I love that mindset flip on there. I was like, I didn't even think we were going to touch mindset here.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's totally making the investment because how many more dollars can you make off of just a small $15 investment every month?
yeah, yeah. It's
It,
automations. AI is the future. Automations.
yes. Yeah, because also like when we had first talked about, because I was like, okay, affiliate marketing. So then you must do a lot of blogging. And you were like, no. So the affiliate marketing really is coming from you talking about things, promoting things. We're all just naturally curious when we see somebody on social media. And of course, like if they're gonna talk about something, like there's so many like ads even that I'll click on and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go buy that on Amazon now or wherever it might be.
People are so good. I'm not that good. Like I'm still very much a consumer. I still every day get influenced.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, because
However, I recognize that I can literally sell because I'm using. Like
uh
it's and that's just what it is. If
right.
today if I took a photo on vacation of me holding my champagne and the beaches in the background, but you see this bracelet stack,
Uh-huh.
I know that I got it from Amazon and Coach. I'm linking it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm showing you that I'm on vacation and you could be too.
Uh-huh.
But in that big picture is some affiliates that I can be earning.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it does take you to be mindful of it because it's so easy to just go about your regular day and
Mhm.
and just want to cater to your clients. And I understand that. And I am aware that I have the capacity because I'm
Mhm.
not necessarily booking clients every day to kind of think of other ways to stay at the forefront. Um,
Right.
and that's still always a priority because then it still comes back full circle. And now you're submitting a consultation, and now I get to assign it to an advisor, and they get to earn from it. So it's a full ecosystem of how I'm able to utilize the affiliate marketing to still bring the business back to the core, which is our clients and our advisors.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much, especially like bringing into that like full CEO role, the strategist, the face of the business, so that if there's an advisor that is a host agency in their own right, they can kind of like see, okay, this is or if that's something that you aspire to,
Yeah.
these are the things that you should be focusing on is really that big visibility so that the ICs that might be under you are the ones that are focused on client experience and getting those itineraries and everything together.
Yes.
So I
If you
appreciate
want
like
me,
that insight. Yeah.
if you want me to just kind of touch on I blog, but I don't blog, I can.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, before we go into blogging too, I know that TikTok, I think recently just released where people can book travel off of TikTok, but whoever the creator is gets the credit. I think it's like through booking.com. I don't know if you know any more about it. I just wanted to share that as a potential for how social media is going to really be affecting travel sales in the future.
Yes and no of me like knowing all the way because I'm like I
Okay.
just heard of it, so I haven't got a chance to dive into it. However,
Okay.
there are platforms like planning, as I mentioned earlier. Expedia has a creator program, booking.com has one as well, and other entities that allow you to, showcase what you're
Mhm.
doing, where you are, what partners that you're working with, and then put a link in.
Yeah.
And people can book from that link. And some of them have a 30-day window. Platforms like planning don't have a window. So anytime someone uses your link, you're going to be able to earn from it. So yeah, so there are ways to be a creator if you know, are like, all right, travel's cool, but I want to do something different.
Yeah. I
You-
mean, if you're already doing it because you have to promote your business,
and
might
you're
as well some
sharing
make some
links.
extra income.
Yeah, you're sharing links and you're doing other things. It's like earn from it. So yes.
Right. Right. Yeah. Because then the blogging, I think what I nerded out about is because you affirmed my macro content theory that I always talk about, like focus on one big piece of juicy content, and
Yeah.
then you can make lots of smaller pieces of juicy content. But yeah, because you have a podcast
I
as
do.
well.
Yes, I do. Yes. So from the podcast is actually how I landed the monthly radio travel segment. So again, you know, putting yourself out there. I know it's easier said than done. I clearly I love talking, I love engaging. I'm that person. So easier said than done. I feel you. But you don't know the opportunities that are available until you try. So
Yeah.
my podcast now is 2 years old. We just celebrated our 100th episode a few weeks back. And
Yay.
thank you. And from the podcast, I will take this transcribe and I will utilize that as a version of a blog.
Yes.
I'm not sitting down to blog. I just told you guys all the things that I'm doing, and probably not all of them. So I'm not sitting down to blog, but I am letting technology work for me so that I can work smarter and not harder. So utilizing that, and I am a contributor on a travel blog site called Black Travel Experience. So I'm able to, you know, easily provide my contribution in that manner because I already have the podcast content. So there's that.
Yeah.
Then also from the podcast, I know you guys have seen it on the internet, the snippets, the people that are
Yeah.
talking, and they look like some people are even talking to themselves, but that style of content does so well. That's a cheat code, guys. If you don't like being on camera or talking to people, you
Yeah.
can still do that
Set up.
podcast style content, and you literally are just looking away.
Yeah.
Cheat code. Anyways, so from those snippets though, because I actually am sitting there talking to my co-host, we take those and we repurpose them to social media. So just, you know, hot takes that might have occurred during the episodes. We're pulling those snippets that, you know, are maybe 50 seconds to max 90 seconds, and we're putting them on the socials. So on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, YouTube Shorts. Let me tell you something about YouTube Shorts.
Yes.
If you're the person out there like, oh my gosh, how am I going to grow on YouTube to be able to monetize YouTube because you need X amount of thousands of subscribers in order to do it? Stop.
Mhm.
You do not need to do a whole bunch of long form content. You can, but you don't need
Mhm.
to. I have watched creators grow to the minimum requirement of subscribers on YouTube in order to monetize it off of YouTube Shorts alone. So
Yeah.
I repurpose my Instagram content to YouTube Shorts as well. Like
Yeah.
I talked earlier about the Capri day trip. That's a short. It was a 50-second recap. I'm talking on it. I'm walking you through Capri for the day. It's a short. So now I did one piece of content and it's on multiple platforms. Like
Yes.
smarter, not harder. So that's my
Love it.
style of blogging. They also all are then lead magnets because I always have a call to action in the captions.
Ooh.
And it just makes sense. Like I can't I clearly I nerd out on like not only ways to monetize the stuff that we have to do anyway. Like we have to
Yes.
show our travels.
Right.
Like so let's make it make sense. Let's make it work for us.
Yeah, I'm a nerd for all these
Yeah.
things. Thinking about the tech, are you recording because you record the podcast, does the full video of the podcast also go on YouTube?
Yes, correct.
Are
Mhm.
you using Zoom for that? Or are you using something like StreamYard or Riverside to do that?
No, we have like, so my husband's a filmmaker, so
Oh,
therefore we
okay.
have like a full production. They've got all the things, and then we have an
Nice.
editor. Yeah, I got lucky, but
Yes.
uh, but StreamYard, I would suggest StreamYard if you're starting out. That's a good platform to be able to record
Okay.
multiple people at one time, you know, wherever your setting is, and then upload it accordingly. But yeah,
Okay.
I got a full production situation happening.
Love that. Yeah, because I know even in StreamYard, you can still make like the vertical videos because they
Mhm.
have an AI in there. Do you use any other? Because I think Opus Clip is one of them and Video.ai.
Yes, so we do use Opus Clip to extract our snippets that we will
Okay.
use then to populate throughout the week to
Okay.
entice people to go and listen to or watch the episode because you can listen to, we're on all the platforms where people listen to podcasts. So
Okay.
yes, so those snippets, we pull them using Opus.
Okay, perfect. Would you say out of the trifecta of macro content, blogging, podcasting, and YouTubing, the podcast came first, but
Mhm.
it feeds the other ones because it's so easy to repurpose, especially
Correct.
with AI.
Correct. Literally,
Okay.
like the transcribing of the podcast,
Yeah.
game changer. Like everything that we said for 45 minutes is now in written form, and I can just do with it whatever way I want to.
Nice. Yeah.
Amazing.
What tool are you using to transcribe your podcasts?
ChatGPT.
Wait, it'll transcribe the audio of your
Oh yeah.
podcast?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I have the pro version, so yeah.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
I have pro version. I use something called Cast Magic. So I was like, and I know some people will use things like Descript to transcribe video or audio. So I was like, that's fancy knowing that. Like, if you're already using the pro version, you might not need to purchase something else then. Just
Yes.
use regular Chat GPT.
Yes. Or I'll use it and I'll say, can you extract the 5 hot topics from this? And then I'll go put
Mhm.
them on a carousel post.
Are you creating
Exciting.
because you mentioned YouTube Shorts, and I know we had chatted. I'm like, that's definitely something that I want to be doing is repurposing some of the Instagram reels that I've created. Not all of them are YouTube worthy in my, because like there's certain things that are just for Instagram, and there's certain things that can transcend. So a lot of like how I create the ones that I think can go on YouTube, I just do a lot of editing and voiceover through Canva, and
Mm.
then I can use all, well, Canva I can just directly upload. But if you didn't have like the direct upload, you can also use, I think it's Snap Insta to take away any of the Instagram or the TikTok branding. So are there
Mhm.
any like tools behind the scenes, or is that the production company that's also doing a lot of the vertical videos?
No, we do the vertical videos. So like,
Okay.
yeah, so I have a co-host. So between us, we'll do that. But the production stays focused mainly on like the YouTube main full video.
Okay.
But as far as what you just described in terms of the repurposing of the content, again, a smarter, not harder strategy. So what I do, I create my content in CapCut.
Oh,
And then I do it with, without my voiceover or without any words on the screen, unless I want like cool, like animations, then I'll use it for that.
mhm.
And the reason that I do it that way, because is now it's considered a non-branded piece of content.
Mm,
Then I can go and take that content and put my words if I want to, or add my voiceover, depending on how I want to show up on the other platforms.
okay.
Now I'm not having to do double the work of trying to extract the watermarks and all of those things.
Uh-huh.
And if I did do my voiceover in CapCut, then I would go ahead and put my words on the screen in the individual platforms so that it shows that I'm still using the features of that platform because
Okay.
they want to see that you're using the platform features, and that's how they're going to boost it. If you just
Oh,
did
yeah.
everything in CapCut and then just went and dropped it in all the platforms, it's not going to do well because it's
Okay.
just going to look like you repurpose this content. So you do have to do some new thing. And I usually
Okay.
choose like the words or the captions if I'm talking. So that way it's the feature of that platform. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yes, totally. And I love that you did that breakdown too, because I know we just want to like save time and do it, but sometimes like maybe just an extra 5 minutes
Yeah,
can like help take us further on whatever platform it is that we really want to grow on.
absolutely.
I don't want to not talk. I'm like, we before we jump off, we have to talk about itinerary sales.
Yeah.
So how are those kind of set up? And are you using the same Mighty platform to kind of like sell individual itineraries?
No, so have the itineraries, they're already like complete. So
Okay.
it's not like you can request a custom itinerary at that point, book a consultation. Let's get
Okay.
set up correctly. But you know, all myself and my team, we all travel and we
Yep.
all, you know, have build our own itineraries for our own trips. So it's like, well, if someone isn't quite ready to use a travel advisor, whether they don't have the monetary resources or they just don't have the understanding of what we do, we can still help them by putting our itineraries on a cool Canva document, making it pretty and fun, and adding a price tag to it and selling it.
Yes.
So that's available on our website. If you click the shop tab, and you'll be able to browse our library of of itineraries that are all created by our team. So it'll say on the bottom, curated by Jasmine Anderson, curated by Layla Monroe. These are actual travel advisors from our team. So you know they went to the destination, they got the firsthand experience, and then they came back and put it in a complete guide for you to enjoy.
I love, would you call it more of a guide than an itinerary? Because
Yes,
what would
we
these
do.
include?
We do call it travel. We call them travel guides because they're,
Okay.
you know, full of recommendations, not necessarily, you know, do this on day one, do this on day two, but here's all the different things that you could do for X. Here's all the different food options that you could explore, all the different
Love that.
sailing experiences that you can try. And then, of course, you know, in those itineraries, our Viator links are there,
Thanks.
our Amazon links are there because we gonna keep winning. Uh,
Yes.
so yeah, so yes, we do call them travel guides, and yes, they are not only another stream of revenue, but again, a way for us to always meet our clients where they are.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that so much. And like, let's say, because you just went to the Amalfi Coast, if
Mhm.
another one of your advisors had gone to the Amalfi Coast, or if you do another one in the next year or two, would you just update the current guide or would you just create a different guide?
You know, if it was me going, I would update my guide, and then we have
Okay.
it in the system so that if any product that you've already purchased is updated, you will get automatically emailed the updated copy. You're not required to purchase it again.
Okay.
But if someone else went from our team, I always encourage them to create their own guide because we have a different perspective of the experience, you know?
Mhm.
Everybody, I might be more of, I just want to be on yachts and sailing. You might be more boots on the ground. So we
Yeah.
have different styles of travelers that we can cater to. So I do encourage them to create, you know, their own guides, even if there's already a destination on the site.
Yeah. Wow. I feel like this one was packed. We've kind of run the gamut a
I
little
know,
bit
I'm like,
on all the all the different
you,
things.
we can keep going, but I know we got other people to get to.
Yes. If there was like one sales tip that you had that travel advisors need to make sure they walk away with, what is that sales tip?
Ooh, I'm trying to narrow it down to one.
Yeah.
um, I'm going to say diversify your income streams. And the reason that I'm choosing that, I know that was really the theme of our conversation, but it is so important because of the industry that we are in. We have
Mhm.
all fallen victim to the ebbs and the flows of our work. And so when we as an agency are experiencing the random times throughout the year where we're like, hello, clients, where you're at,
Where are you?
where are you? But I can still, you know, cover our expenses because of membership fees or affiliate marketing or travel guide sales.
Mhm.
There is a level of, oh, okay, I did make the right decision 10, 5 years
Right.
ago, really, when I decided to go full time on this, but even 10 years ago when I decided to venture into this industry as a whole. So those are the things where I'm like, yes, I love selling travel. I love bringing experiences to life for people. But we live in a time now where selling travel is not all we have to offer. And
Right.
it's not all that people are looking for either. That's the other part. Because honestly, the travel guides came about where people were like, okay, you know, it actually came from our travel deal clients because our travel deals, as I mentioned before, those are
Mm.
pick, pay, and go. It's
Yeah.
not a curated experience. You go to the website, you click if it works for you, the dates, the times, the destination, the price, you click it, you go, and it's done.
Okay.
But we found that we were leaving money on the table because they were kind of like, okay, but like, what do I do when I get there? And that was where we were like, let's lean into these travel guides here because we've been in these places. So
Yeah.
listening to your client also will help you to diversify your streams, because some of my streams may not be applicable to your clientele, but I guarantee you there's something out there that they've asked you for and you've probably done a few times. And now you're like, maybe add this to my line items.
Yes. I love that too because there's the different buying stages. So if somebody's not ready to like they haven't booked a trip with you, but they still can do some revenue. They can still like throw some revenue your way through other means too.
Because again, you're building that trust through
Yeah.
your authority, through showing up, through having a presence online or just a presence in the country club. Wherever the presence is, you have to have one.
Right.
It's a you have to have one.
And
And
you have to have it in multiple spaces. Go
yes,
ahead.
but I'm saying, and so with that, people are going to gravitate toward you, whether they buy at the first onset or down the road.
Mhm.
They need to get comfortable first, which is fine. But sometimes that comfort is, let me spend $12 on this guide and see if they really know what they're talking about,
Yeah, yeah.
and then we go from there.
Yes. Yeah. Especially in a time where there were so many gurus, quote unquote, that came from the what happened a couple years ago, that people have been burned. And so
Yes.
making like a little investment to figure out like, do you have the bite, not just the bark,
Yeah.
can really help out in having them secure a higher ticket trip later down the line.
Absolutely. I always tell our team, we're not in the business of convincing people to travel. We're in the business of getting them there.
Yeah,
So,
love
uh,
that too.
if someone's not ready, it's okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
You should be worried about the next person who does need your help. And the other person will circle back around because I'm very confident in what we can offer and how we present it. So they'll be back. It's okay.
Yes. Well, there's a couple things that we need to do before we wrap up. And first, I need to give the secret word. I should have given this a little bit earlier, but I like to see where the conversation goes. So the
Yes.
secret word for this session is going to be Amalfi, because I know we were talking a little bit Amalfi Coast. So, travel advisors, if you're playing games with us this week, make sure that you write that in the worksheet that you need to be writing that in. Also, Natasha, like huge thank you for being here and sharing all of your expertise on this. I know that you do a lot to mentor other travel advisors, so if people were interested in that, where is the best place to go or the best place to get started?
Absolutely. So, yes, again, thank you so much for having me. And if you need a part two, I'm totally down because I could talk about streaming. I could talk about streams of revenue for travel advisors all day.
Yeah,
But as far as being able to connect with you, your audience, as well as just travel advisors out there who want and need support, I'll make sure to give my link. But
perfect.
certainly find me and my mentoring services on our website. If you follow me on Instagram, it is right in my bio. And then also, if you're not quite ready to commit to mentoring services, but you really just want the how-to guide, I created an 80+ page guide on how to start and scale your travel business. Because again, I am a girl's girl. I am all for working smarter, not harder, but also for giving the game. Like,
Mhm.
I did the work for 10 years. Like, now let me just make it a little bit easier for you. And like, I don't have a name for that other than I want to see you in. So,
Yes.
yeah.
I love that so much. We're gonna have that linked. Yes, we might have to do like a part two either at the end of this year or beginning of 26 because there's just so much juiciness and we just like scrape the surface, the
We did.
surface
I
over
know.
here.
We did. Sorry, guys. I was like, we had to give what we could, but
Yeah, yeah. We had to
hopefully
get
you walk away with
the
some.
big things and then we can go down deeper. But travel advisors, I hope that you have enjoyed this as much as we've been enjoying gabbing along here. Remember that you have the virtual trade show. So there might be a couple of partners that are there that might be able to help you set a couple of these things up. And then also the swag bag, because there's a lot of amazing offers that are exclusive to you this week as part of Prep for Wave Week. So make sure to hit those up. Natasha, thank you so much again.
Truly my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, everybody. We will see you on the next one.